It started like any typical Colbert interview, polished, playful, political. Senator Elizabeth Warren took her seat to raucous applause. She smiled, waved, settled in. They chatted about student debt, big tech, and campaign finance. Standard stuff. But then Colbert said, "Let's talk about housing, because you've criticized billionaires owning property they don't live in, while your own net worth soared since 2015 and you own 3 homes." The audience chuckled nervously. Warren paused. "That's completely different. My homes are for living, not hoarding." Colbert pressed. "Even the condo in D.C. you barely visit." Gasps, scattered laughter. Warren's smile faded. "Stephen, I don't appreciate the implication." "No implication, just a question." The crowd shifted. The warmth was gone. Warren's tone tightened. "Is this how you treat all your guests, or just the ones who don't pretend to be cool on TikTok?" The room tensed. Colbert leaned in. "Just the ones who tell the public one thing and live another." The crowd oohed. Warren crossed her arms. "Maybe you should try running for office if you're so perfect." The next line would flip the entire tone of the show. Warren's jab at Colbert didn't land. In fact, it backfired. The audience, mostly left-leaning, yes, but now clearly uncomfortable, started to murmur. Colbert stayed calm, but his tone sharpened. "You came here to talk policy, Senator. I'm just holding you to your own standards." Warren leaned forward. "I'm here because millions of Americans are struggling, and you're nitpicking real estate trivia for a punchline." Colbert raised an eyebrow. "It's not trivia if it's hypocrisy." Boom. A single clap echoed from the back, then a few more. The audience wasn't laughing. They were reacting. Warren blinked in disbelief. "So this is what late nights become? Call-outs for ratings?" Colbert shrugged. "Truth doesn't need a ratings bump, Senator. It stands on its own." The crowd applauded, louder this time. Warren, visibly rattled, turned to the producer off camera. "Is this really happening?" The camera panned awkwardly to Stephen, then to the audience. Colbert gestured to the stagehand for a break. "We're going to cut to commercial. Stay with us." But as the screen faded, Warren stood up and walked off set. The crowd gasped. Colbert sat motionless, half smiling in disbelief. Backstage cameras caught her saying to an aide, "We're never doing that show again." But it was already too late. The clip had gone live, and the internet was just waking up. By the time the East Coast broadcast ended, the clip was already clipped, captioned, and plastered across the internet. The walk-off, the stare-down, the real estate line, and Colbert's final jab. All of it, every second, was now trending. On Twitter, Warren walks out. Colbert vs. Warren. 3 homes truth. Late show blow up. Conservatives cheered, "Even Colbert's tired of the double standards." When a liberal host fact-checks a liberal guest, you know it's bad. Progressives split in two. Some defended Warren. She was ambushed. Colbert went full gotcha. Others sided with Colbert. She dodged accountability. That wasn't an ambush. It was honesty. TikTok creators dropped hot takes. YouTubers released same-day breakdowns. News sites ran headlines like, "Elizabeth Warren melts down on Late Show," "Colbert confronts Senator," "Sparks walk-off," "Liberal implosion on late-night TV." But the twist? Warren's press team didn't issue a statement. They deleted the tweet promoting the appearance. They even scrubbed the episode link from her official site. Colbert, meanwhile, opened his next show with this: "Well, we lost a guest mid-interview last night, but hey, at least she didn't call me deplorable." The crowd roared. But behind the scenes, Warren's team was scrambling. Because a leaked email had just surfaced, and it suggested the walk-off wasn't spontaneous at all. It landed in a reporter's inbox at 6:03 a.m. Subject line: Colbert walk-off was planned. The email came from an anonymous burner address, supposedly tied to a junior staffer on Warren's team. Attached, a forwarded internal memo sent 2 days before the taping. The key line: if Colbert brings up personal finances or housing again, she walks. No back and forth. Mic off. Exit. The leak hit X, Reddit, and news blogs within hours. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. So the whole thing was staged? She wanted to look like the victim. This was a stunt, and it backfired. Political strategists chimed in. It was meant to rally the base. Instead, it exposed a crack in the brand. And even Colbert's own fans began asking questions. Did he know it was planned? Was this whole thing a scripted showdown for views? Neither side issued a comment, but viewers had already decided. If it was real, Warren lost control. If it was fake, she lost credibility. Either way, her team was boxed in. And then came the final blow. An edited backstage clip surfaced, cut together like a movie trailer, showing Warren storming off, shouting, "Let's see how funny he is when he loses his sponsors." The edit: fake. The impact: very real. Millions believed it. The video was shared by influencers, politicians, even parody news accounts. And now, Warren was facing backlash from her own party. By the end of the week, Elizabeth Warren's team had entered full crisis mode. Donors were nervous, staffers were silent, and even longtime allies in the media were hesitant to book her. Then came the denial tour. Warren appeared in a surprise CNN interview, trying to reframe the moment. "I wasn't walking out. I was stepping away from a conversation that had lost all good faith." The interviewer pressed, "But your internal memo said otherwise." And the walk-off looked very intentional. Warren deflected. "Politics shouldn't be performance art. I'm here to talk about real issues." The irony? That's exactly what her critics accused her of turning it into. Clips from her CNN appearance went viral, for all the wrong reasons. Twitter replies were brutal. "Still dodging. Own it or move on." You turn Colbert into the voice of reason. Think about that. Even The Onion weighed in with the headline, "Warren releases 37-point plan to justify walking off talk show." But the final blow didn't come from the internet. It came from The Late Show itself. Colbert's team aired an extended cut of the original interview, including previously unseen moments. In it, Colbert can be heard asking off mic, "Did she really just walk off? Was that planned?" The audience laughed. Warren's brand didn't. And as the credits rolled, the screen flashed a cheeky graphic. "Next time, no safe spaces." The story dominated headlines for another 48 hours. And while it would eventually fade, one thing was clear. Elizabeth Warren didn't just walk off a stage. She walked into a PR nightmare she'll never fully walk out of. Just when it seemed like the media storm was dying down, a new account appeared on X. No profile picture. Username: @WarrenVault. First post: "You think that walk-off was the worst part? Wait until you hear what she said before the cameras rolled." Attached: a 12-second audio clip. It was grainy, the voice unmistakable. "If Colbert tries anything cute, I swear I'll nuke this interview before it starts." That was it. 12 seconds. No context. No visual proof. But it didn't matter. It was all over TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and primetime commentary within hours. Her critics called it the smoking gun. Her defenders screamed deepfake. News anchors use phrases like, "The digital ambush continues," "real scandal" or "AI psyop," "political sabotage in real time." Warren's team issued a denial within minutes. "This clip is fabricated and malicious. We are pursuing legal action." But the damage? Already done. And then came the final twist. The @Warren Vault account posted one more thing before disappearing: a blurry screenshot, an email subject line, "Scripting conflict, Colbert segment draft 5-2," followed by, "This wasn't a meltdown. It was a rehearsal."